For more than 2 centuries, France dominated continental Europe. Then Napoleon III declared war on Prussia. 6 weeks later, he lost his army, his throne, and most of his professional credibility. France entered the war hoping to stop German unification. Instead, it completed Germany's final group project. In 1870, Germany did not yet exist as a single country. Prussia controlled the North German Confederation, but Bavaria, Württemberg, Baden, and several other southern states remained independent. They spoke the same language. They shared many cultural traditions. But politically, they were less a country than a very large WhatsApp group whose members had spent centuries arguing over who should be the administrator. Then, Otto von Bismarck found the one thing capable of ending the argument: France.
Bismarck had already used 2 wars to expand Prussian power. In 1864, Prussia and Austria defeated Denmark. In 1866, Prussia defeated Austria. His German unification program was becoming increasingly easy to understand. Choose a neighbor, isolate it diplomatically, defeat it quickly, update the map. France was concerned by Prussia's growing power. Napoleon III also faced political problems at home and believed that a successful war might strengthen his regime. This was a reasonable plan, provided France won the war. Bismarck helped the situation by editing and publishing the Ems Dispatch, a report about a diplomatic meeting between the Prussian king and the French ambassador. He shortened the message so that it sounded as if both men had insulted each other. The French were outraged. The Prussians were outraged. Bismarck was delighted. On the 19th of July, 1870, France declared war on Prussia. This allowed Prussia to present itself as the victim. The southern German states activated their defensive agreements and joined Prussia. France had wanted to prevent German unity. Its first action was to unite the Germans. The French government expected a quick offensive. Unfortunately, its mobilization system appeared to have been designed by several departments that had never met. Soldiers arrived without equipment. Equipment arrived without soldiers. Some units could not find their commanders. Commanders could not find reliable maps. The railway system successfully transported thousands of men to places where nobody needed them.
The Prussian-led armies had spent years preparing detailed mobilization plans. Troops, horses, ammunition, and supplies moved toward the frontier by railway. Helmuth von Moltke, chief of the Prussian General Staff, coordinated several German armies advancing separately but supporting one another. France brought patriotic enthusiasm. Prussia brought a timetable. The Germans crossed the frontier and won a series of battles. One major French army, commanded by Marshal Bazaine, became trapped at Metz. Marshal MacMahon assembled another army to rescue it. Napoleon III accompanied him. The emperor was ill and contributed very little to military planning, but he was physically present, which would soon become important for the surrender ceremony.
MacMahon's army marched north toward Metz. The Germans detected the movement, turned north, and pursued it. By the end of August, the French had been pushed toward the small fortress town of Sedan, close to the Belgian border. This was an unfortunate place to fight. The French were surrounded by hills. The Germans occupied the hills. The French were also surrounded by German soldiers. By the morning of September 1st, more than 200,000 German troops were closing around Sedan. German artillery was placed on the surrounding heights. Hundreds of guns began firing into the French positions below. The French army attempted to break out. Its cavalry launched repeated charges near Flowing. The horsemen attacked bravely. They were also charging uphill against infantry and artillery. German observers admired their courage. Then they continued shooting. MacMahon was wounded early in the battle. Command passed first to General Ducrot, who ordered a retreat. Minutes later, General Wimpfen arrived with special authority from the government, took command, canceled the retreat, and ordered an attack. The French army now had two plans. Neither worked. German forces completed the encirclement. French troops withdrew into Sedan, where roads became blocked by soldiers, horses, wagons, and artillery. Shells fell into the crowded town. Napoleon III spent much of the day searching for a convenient place to be killed. He rode through areas under fire, but no shell cooperated. Eventually, he accepted that dying heroically was also not progressing according to plan. A white flag was raised. The following morning, Napoleon III surrendered to King Wilhelm I of Prussia. Around 100,000 French soldiers became prisoners. France had lost an army and gained an emperor who was now German property. When the news reached Paris, the French government did not attempt to rescue Napoleon. Instead, it abolished his empire.
On the 4th of September, the Second French Empire collapsed, and the Third Republic was proclaimed. Napoleon III had entered the war hoping to save his dynasty. The war removed the dynasty in less time than many European governments required to answer a letter. But Sedan did not immediately end the conflict. The new French Republic continued fighting. Paris was besieged, and French armies tried to resist for several more months. Meanwhile, the shared victory brought the German states together. On the 18th of January, 1871, the German Empire was proclaimed in the Hall of Mirrors at Versailles. The ceremony took place inside France, while Paris was still under siege. Bismarck did not merely defeat the French. He organized the launch party for Germany inside one of their palaces. The peace settlement transferred Alsace and part of Lorraine to Germany and imposed a massive indemnity on France. France did not forget.
The desire to recover the lost territories became a central part of French politics. Before Sedan, Bismarck's main problem had been creating Germany. After Sedan, his main problem was protecting the powerful new country he had created. He therefore constructed a network of agreements with Austria-Hungary, Russia, and later Italy. The purpose was to maintain the European balance of power, and above all, keep France isolated. Bismarck first used diplomacy and 3 carefully selected wars to build Germany. Then he spent the next 20 years using diplomacy to prevent anyone from attacking it. Sedan ended more than a French empire. It ended the period of French dominance in continental Europe and transferred the center of power from Paris to Berlin. France started the war to prevent the rise of Germany. It lost its emperor, lost its leading position in Europe, and helped create the country it had gone to war to stop. As strategic plans go, it was unusually productive. Just not for France.